If you thought there's such a thing as an easy, risk-free immigration process, then you need to stick around and watch this video to learn the actual truth. Hello everyone, I'm attorney Lee Marvin, and I have been practicing law for over 20 years with a focus in immigration law for the last 12 years. My main office is in Grand Rapids, Michigan, but I help individuals and their families from any state in the country and any country on the planet. You want to know what I'm talking about? These risks with immigration. There's risks with everything in life. Immigration is especially risky right now based on the current administration and what's going on in the world, okay? Some processes are much riskier than others. It used to be fairly easy for people to renew, for example, a green card, okay? So that's no longer the case. Even green card requests are under heightened scrutiny from the government because the government suspects fraud everywhere. Not so easy anymore as it used to be. You want to make sure that you are making the requests the right way and you're not exposing yourself to risk, because it's not just about having to repay money, it's about potentially losing the status that you thought was secure, okay? What are the risks and what are the tips that I have for you, okay? First are risks. Anytime you open yourself up to the government, immigration, or whatever it is, you might not have a choice but do it, but know that there's always a risk involved when you do that. It's sort of like inviting a vampire into your home. Once you open that door and you let the government or the vampire walk into your lives, they're not going to leave until they are done, okay? You just need to know that, right? You're opening yourself up to the process that the government's job is to perform, and until they're done with you, you are subject to them, okay? Risk number 2. Not only can a process take much longer for immigration, and they are now, based on all this additional problems or governmental scrutiny, green card requests are even taking longer because they are now potentially triggering a full review of the immigrant's history. So whether it's a green card or whether it's a work permit, no matter what it is, you are triggering something that allows the government to continue to review you, and they may go back further in time than you ever expected, okay? That exposure allows them to bring up the past if they need to, okay? So they're taking a lot longer, and you need to be aware of that. Now, the third risk, depending on your prior history and the type of process that you're doing, a simple review could cause problems with travel, okay? So you get that it might take longer for a review to be done. Well, consider that if you do a lot of international travel. If it's for your job or your family, keep that in mind, that as long as that review is pending and you're still under a current status, you're good. But if you expire while the government is still reviewing your request, then that might impact your ability to actually travel, and you should be careful and look at that, or you could be in trouble, okay? My tips, I just kind of gave you one tip. Tip number 1, since you have no choice but to renew with the government for your immigration process, make sure you get the right help to do so, and you're doing it the right way. Do-it-yourselfers, beware. This is not the time that you want to risk doing things yourself because the government is unforgiving, okay? So just keep that in mind. You will have additional issues and it'll take additional time, okay? Tip 2, make sure you file as early as you are permitted. What do I mean by that? If you file too early, you're going to run into other issues. Like they will reject your filing or they will sit on it, and then all of a sudden when you think it's going to take whatever you look up online and it says it's going to take, you might rely on that and it takes twice as long because you filed too early. Don't file too early. File right in the window that you're permitted to do it to avoid the most trouble, okay? Tip 3, Always keep proof of the filing and your receipt confirmation with you, okay? If your process expires and heaven forbid you come across the radar of ICE, you have a receipt notice saying, hey, I filed, it's with you guys, and it's taken you guys longer than it should. At least you have proof that you've done that. Keep it with you, and just be careful that you are not leaving yourself to the government's whim or to chance. You don't want to do that. You want to always be prepared, okay? Staying valid in a valid status has never been more important than under this current administration, more so than the first Trump administration. So definitely be smart about it, okay? And remember, this is always true, that current politics is having a significant impact, as I've already stated, on all immigration processes and the timing of those processes. Doing it right has never been more important to the protection of you and your family. As always, stay informed and stay safe.